wearing that Yankee garbage, I am very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I knew it was a pretty tough move to try and pull off before the game. I just was trying to find something to wear. I last time I went, I wore red. I looked out of place, so I'm like, let me find something navy blue. Couldn't find anything to wear, and then finally, I was just like, Taylor found this one jersey, like just regular like batting practice jersey. I like put it on. I was like, yeah, this fit's actually pretty fire. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Let me. I'm like, I'll just wear it. Hopefully, I see no one I know. I didn't see anyone at the game, but our friend Dan texted us to hang out in Stanford, and
Yeah.
he's a Yankee fan. He saw me and he couldn't believe it. And I said, "Yeah, man, I know, I know." I was like, "Listen, please just don't send this anywhere. Don't tell anyone." He's like, "I got you. I got you." Um,
Nope.
we had some drinks, we had some food. He was going to stay true to it, and he completely forgot. And I'm sitting on the other side of the table from him at dinner, and he goes, "Dude, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "What'd you do?" He's like, "Look in the chat." I'm like, "What did you do?" And I see the picture of me, and I see you and Jimmy tearing me a new one, and I went,
Tearing in a new one.
I was like, "You ruined me. It's over. I can't show my face again. I
Nope.
can't call myself a Mets fan." I'm like, "It's over. This is terrible."
And he tries to wear on the podcast, he tries to wear his nice little Mets jersey now to try and get back.
Yeah.
He thinking I wouldn't remember. Sorry, guys, I remember. And this guy committed a criminal offense. Arrest this man.
uh, What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Two Man Podcast. Carl, how's it going today, man?
It is going great, man. It's going great. I'm excited to be here with you today.
I'm excited too. You're looking great. I'm loving
So
the
are you.
hat. I'm
Thanks,
loving the
man.
shirt. It's
Dude,
looking
yeah.
great.
Some guy got this for me for my birthday, man. He's such a great guy.
I'm hoping he is a great guy, and I'm hoping he got it to you on time and not 2 months late, as he
Oh,
kept it in his apartment.
sure. Definitely not 2 months late. No, no.
It's not like he forgot it twice going back to Long Island. I hope he didn't do that.
Hey, listen, man, this shirt was worth the wait. Let's just like
I am.
enjoy
It
it
is
real
pretty
quick.
fire.
Like it's pretty fire. Like that shot of him swinging in the middle. Then you got
Yeah.
the two different pictures here, and then
Yeah.
just City Field in the background. And I love how it's like a cartoon-esque design. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I really liked it. And like I said before we started recording, I wish I got two because now looking at it again, I'm jealous. I mean, shout out to the TikTok shop also for Carl's hat. I mean, that's
Hmm.
nice. And we debated this a little bit. I mean, out of those three starters, Squirtle's the best
Oh, 1000%,
short term
1000%.
for sure. You
Yeah.
can argue that obviously the best of the three for evolution is Charizard, so
Yeah.
Charmander's the best. But
I mean, Blastoise is pretty cool too,
yeah,
but like just the fact that Charizard is just such an iconic Pokemon. He can
mhm,
like he can fly,
yeah,
and he is a fire type Pokemon.
yeah.
It's pretty hard to beat that.
Exactly, but enough of our little chit chat, Carl. How about you let everybody know the crazy schedule or crazy agenda we have for everybody in this episode?
Yeah, just to kind of go through everybody. Tyler and I think, talked for an hour and a half before we actually started recording today because we just
Yep.
had so much to talk about because we didn't know what we were actually talking about.
Yeah,
So next time we're gonna start recording our pre-shows, I think,
I think we
because
should. Yeah.
Taylor started coming in at certain points to a
Yeah.
topic that we're gonna hit later on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I honestly wish we got her genuine reaction to some of the stuff we talked about.
Yeah. No,
But
she was definitely proving my points wrong for sure.
but yes, definitely a good episode for you guys. We're
Mhm.
gonna talk a little NBA, talk about how the end of the finals just turned out, and couple of the offseason kicking up pretty hot and heavy
Yeah.
as soon as the finals start. I mean, the
Yep.
draft is tonight as we're recording.
Yep.
So I'm sure more stuff is gonna come out after we, post this video on Friday.
Yep.
Um, then we're also gonna talk a little bit of Mets and Yankees. Tyler just went to a Yankee game and committed a crime. And I'm going to talk a little Mets. I went to the Met game last night, and ever since, Tyler and I talked Mets, how good they were doing, they've played like absolute dog shit. So
Yep.
I think it's us.
Yep.
And then we're gonna switch over topics a little bit. We're gonna do a little music. We're gonna talk about Taylor Swift visiting Nashville, and we're gonna have a little debate on albums. And this is kind of where Taylor comes into play.
Yeah.
And then finally, before we get to our game, I do have a surprise question to ask Tyler if he is up with the new trends that are going on in the world.
Hmm.
And then finally we got a start bench cut of our July movies. So I'm
Yep.
very excited for that.
Yeah, that's a jam-packed episode for sure. Like you
Jam
said, we should
packed.
have just recorded right before. It would have been our whole podcast.
Exactly.
And one thing I just realized too before we get into these topics is this is the last time I'll be recording in my studio, in my little
No
setup here,
way.
because me and Taylor are moving next week to a new location.
That is
So
awesome.
it won't be this apartment anymore. So we'll have to see what the
Damn.
new setup looks like. So something to look forward to for
I'm
episode 57.
I'm pumped. I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what that looks like. But anyway, yes, the NBA season ended as of recording. Obviously, you all know that. But the Thunder beat the Pacers 7 games.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to the Thunder. Obviously, I was rooting for the Thunder. I hated the Pacers ever
Yep.
since they knocked out the Knicks. But I was disappointed, obviously, with the classic Game 7 matchup they stole from us. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how much of that game you watched. I didn't watch any of it until I turned it on literally after Halliburton got hurt, unfortunately, and that was by coincidence only. But I saw he was started off hot, 3 for 3 from three, I think it was, and
Was he
then
actually? That's crazy.
he I think he scored like all their points to start the game. I know he finished with the most 3 pointers made in the game, whether it was from
Wow.
his team or both. It might have been just his team. But yeah, and then unfortunately, like we've seen too much in these playoffs, he ruptures his Achilles, and
It's crazy.
the Pacers had a lot of depth. I thought they could make it close, but the Thunder are just too stacked as well, and ran away with it
Yeah.
in the second half.
I mean, he was dealing with injuries throughout that
Yeah,
whole series. Which again, I think I hate Tyrese Halliburton like with a burning passion,
yeah,
but you really don't want to see a guy get hurt like that. It's just
no,
in any circumstance, it's just not a good way for somebody to go out, even if you do hate their guts. Um, but again, like you said, congrats to the OKC. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that that team is so young and
yeah,
they just won.
yeah,
We might be looking at the next dynasty on our hands, man. Like they have like
yeah,
top picks galore still for the next couple of years, unless
yep,
they want to trade those away. But I don't think they will. They're in a pretty good
no,
position,
yeah.
and their team already is super young, and they're only going to get better with age.
Yeah, the only thing that would stop him is injuries. And
Yeah.
if some guys wanted an exorbitant amount of money that they couldn't pay with these new first apron and second apron kind of rules in the NBA. But yeah, they look good. And, we wanted to talk on it too. I don't know if you saw this stat because, Halliburton is, I believe, the third guy to rupture his Achilles in these playoffs. It was Halliburton, Tatum, and Dame Lillard all
Wow.
ruptured. Did you see what they all had in common?
Yeah, it was they had a calf strain beforehand, right?
Well, that's one of
Oh,
them, but another weird coincidence that doesn't have anything to do with it. They all wear the number 0. All three of them wear the number 0, and all tore their Achilles,
that is
which
very, very weird.
obviously definitely has nothing to do. But
I'm going to say this. It might be saying that you just shouldn't wear the number zero because, in my personal opinion, I think
yeah,
wearing the number zero looks stupid. And the
dumb.
only thing that looks stupider than the number zero, which stupider isn't even a word, but we're
Yeah,
using it right now,
but stupider is.
is double
Yep, I'm
zero.
holding them up double
Yep.
zeros. Yep.
Yep.
That's what
I'm
that
glad we
was.
I'm glad we agree with that.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, zero is dumb. Double zeros is the dumbest
Criminal.
thing I've ever
Criminal.
seen. I don't
Criminal.
care how good you are. If you're wearing double zeros, that just looks bad.
Bad. Bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so all wear number zeros, but you did touch on the one thing too is most of them have calf strains that they kind of
Yeah.
try to play through, and it ends up just unfortunately turning into a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah, I saw this guy on TikTok kind of like going about it. Like as of right now, there's really, I guess, no medical, I guess,
Hmm.
research behind it, but there's got to be something
Yeah.
connected to it because they went all the way back to even when Kobe ended up tearing his Achilles, like
Hmm.
back in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
He right before he tore his Achilles, he had had calf tightness.
Yeah.
And then they even went back to last season when Aaron Rodgers, tore his Achilles on the
Yeah.
like the opening couple of plays of the game.
Yeah.
He was going into that game with calf tightness
Yeah.
into that first week of
Yeah.
the NFL season. And now Halliburton is the most recent one. He was
Mm.
having calf tightness the
Yeah.
whole series leading up to a torn Achilles.
Yeah. I saw someone mention too, like, oh, if he had calf soreness or I mean, he had like a strained calf too. Like, if this is the regular season, I think they said he was missing like weeks, if not months.
Yeah.
And obviously, he ended up playing game seven. So they were saying, how could they let him play? But it's kind of hard to say no when you're, 27, 28 in
Yeah.
game seven of the NBA Finals. I mean, might never get that chance again. So I feel like it would have been hard to keep him out of it because obviously he wants to play and try and play through it.
Yeah, I think I would have played. I
Yeah.
and I think I would have played with the torn Achilles. I don't care how much pain I was in. I would have said, "Fucking give me as much morphine as you possibly can." It's already torn. You can't injure it anymore.
Fair,
So
fair.
give me whatever the fuck I need and put me back out there, coach. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. No, I know. I just reminded me that I believe there was someone, a lacrosse player, who I think he tore his hamstring in like the championship game, or
Yeah.
maybe the game to clinch the championship. And for the championship, like he didn't get surgery or anything. And I think he like literally like made a makeshift brace. I think he put like a rod back there and like duct taped it. And
Yes, I know
like,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, championship game, as good as the Pacers are and young and like you keep the team together, things happen. So you might never get to the championship ever
Yeah.
again. So it's like obviously you're gonna try and play as much best as you can.
Did you see the girl who was I only saw this recently because it was on the Pat McAfee show.
Hmm.
Um Softball just created their own like professional league.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called like the ASL or something, whatever it is.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Literally roast me in the comments. Don't really know exactly what the name of it
It's
is.
new, it's new. Give us some
It's
slack.
brand new, yeah. But one of the girls who like was like one of the top picks in the draft, she was playing for the championship, the softball
Uh-huh.
collegiately,
Yeah.
and she apparently played through the whole playoffs with two torn ACLs.
Oh my
Like both
gosh.
both her ACLs were torn,
Oh my
and
gosh.
she was still hitting bombs. Like she's still literally like I don't know, hitting grand slams,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
just an absolute unit. And it comes out after that she had two ACLs. Like we need more people like that. No, not saying that a torn Achilles is not a very
Yeah,
severely
yeah, yeah.
painful injury, but
Yeah.
come on. If a guy can tape a rod to his leg and still play, and a girl can keep hitting home runs, I
Yeah.
think Tyrese
Oh,
Halliburton should have been back in that game. Just
yeah.
saying.
I feel like all the sports are so different too, because I know like it's so funny because like when I hurt my hamstrings last year, I I mean, I think they were torn. They had all the signs that they were at least partially torn. I mean, some bruising, the worst strain ever at the minimum. Um, and I couldn't even drive home or walk up the stairs like without help. So I say this now sitting on the couch, but if I ruptured my Achilles, I don't think I would be walking. I don't, even if it's the biggest game of my life, I don't think I'd be able to get back up. I would have said,
No,
"Get me the
you have to
wheelchair."
get back in that fucking game, dude. I don't care. I don't care. You
That's
fucking in the
crazy.
championship, you need to fucking play. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I mean basketball is different. Hockey, they would have been in there.
Oh, you're cooked. You can't. I don't know if you can skate.
Maybe not. They would have tried though. Out of anyone, the hockey
Definitely,
players,
yeah.
because like the
I think you're
greatest
right.
part about the Stanley Cup ending or any team getting eliminated from the playoffs is you see the injury report. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
some guy who just won the Stanley Cup, Matt Kachuk, their captain. I think he's their captain. No, maybe assistant captain. Anyway, on the Panthers, I think he had like a muscle torn completely off the bone for the last
That's
three games, and it's like, dude,
oh.
how are you playing?
They literally just get drunk before the game.
Yeah,
They take as much morphine as possible, and they just say, "Throw me in there, coach.
they must.
Throw me in there."
They must. But yeah, to rupture the Achilles, something I'm never hope happens to either of us because
Yeah,
I didn't look
me
forward to
neither.
that. And but you could, yeah, the videos are so gross too. Like
Oh,
when you see them take
disgusting.
their
When you see it
step
pop
and you
out.
see it pop, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, it's terrible.
it's gross. And Kind of building off that too, it's so weird how quick the NBA moves nowadays too,
Yeah.
because Tatum, tore his Achilles, ruptured his Achilles in round two against the Knicks. And next thing you know, obviously he's going to miss most of next year, if not all of next season. And the Celtics had to unload payroll, and they traded Drew Holiday, they traded Kristaps, and I like to take credit for that. That the Knicks ruined their dynasty, ruined
Hey,
their team. I mean, listen, I'm not joking about the injury. Hate to see that part, but
yeah.
Knicks beat them, and now they're trading away all their guys. I see Derek White's getting some looks. Jalen Brown's getting some looks. I mean, Tatum's going to come back, and
And there's gonna be nobody on the court with him.
there's going to be no one
It's
on the
gonna be like,
court
what
with
happened
him.
to my team?
Yeah, he's going to take his sweet time rehabbing if there's no one to come back to. So,
Yeah.
yeah, which
I,
is
I
just weird.
personally don't see them maybe trading Jalen Brown.
Yeah,
I think that's like one of their other guys.
yeah,
The only reason I think I could see them trading is if like the reports that are that Tatum and Brown really don't get along. So if they're
yeah,
gonna pick a superstar, they'll probably pick Tatum. But
yeah.
I really highly doubt those rumors.
No,
I'm not too big of a fan of that, but
no, I don't. I don't believe it. But yeah, I mean, rumors have been swirling. I mean, well, Kevin Durant already got traded to the Rockets, which was nuts.
yeah,
I've seen the Knicks, some rumors of maybe them unloading Mikal Bridges, because he's due for a super max, and obviously we gave up a lot for him. And the
yeah.
Knicks need a couple pieces to kind of revamp their team. So yeah, the NBA is just a wild place nowadays.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm excited to see what ends up happening with this draft coming around. I mean, Cooper
Yeah,
Flag looks like he is the undeniable first overall pick,
yeah,
going to the Mavs. But after that, I don't really know what's gonna happen.
yeah,
I'm excited to see which superstars get traded. I know KD is on the market. Well, no, KD got traded, no? He
yeah. You
got
got
traded to
traded.
Houston. Yeah, KD
Yeah,
got traded to Houston,
yeah, yeah,
which was already crazy. I mean,
yeah.
like, see, like that was something that I like even overlooked because like I feel like he's been traded around like nobody's business, and he's one of the best players of our generation.
I know.
It's just
It's
crazy.
it's nuts. He's one of the best scorers, and he
Yeah.
just
You
gets
got
passed
yeah,
around.
you got Giannis on the market. Nobody knows where he's gonna end up, but I
Yeah,
could see him getting moved before the draft is all said and done, or
yeah,
even the offseason is all set.
yeah,
But it's crazy because I think with NBA going into each season, it's like every team is just kind of new. Like
yeah.
there's no I guess like uh there's no loyalty really anymore in that sport.
No, no. It's sad, and the trades are crazy because most teams have so much draft capital because there's only two rounds, right, in the
Yeah.
draft. So it's like so many teams. Like, I mean, we got Mikal Bridges for 5 first round picks. I mean, if you traded in hockey for 5 first round picks, like you better hope you get a haul back instead of one player.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of weird. And yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even I haven't I forgot the draft was tonight for the most part until earlier
Yeah.
today. Like, I don't know what pick the Knicks even have. I don't even know.
They might not even have a pick.
They might
Like,
not. Actually, they probably don't. I just said, yeah, Mikal Bridges.
yeah.
They might not have a 1st round pick for years.
Yeah.
So
We're cooked. And we don't got
yeah,
a coach. So that's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. We don't have a coach. I don't think we have a 1st round pick. We better hope this current team turns it around.
Yeah. Speaking of teams that turned it around, let's talk about the Mets. They completely turned it around and not for the better.
No.
Last time we talked, they were like on a 17-game winning streak, and they've lost 7 games straight, then they
Mhm.
won two, and then now they're on another 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So talk about a team really going in the opposite direction. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a two-man podcast putting the Mets curse onto them,
Yeah.
but um I don't want to be in the same conversation as Drake, so we need to fucking fix this.
The Drake curse is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I hate seeing when he bets on my teams. It's the
No,
worst because
seriously.
he's gonna lose. But yeah, it's weird. We had the opposite effect last year. We shit on the team, we shit on
Yeah.
Lindor, and they turned it around. And finally, we started talking good about them 2 weeks ago, and they have pulled a complete 180 on us and made us look like
Com
fools.
complete 180. I think they'll turn it around.
Yeah,
But for just good old time sakes, let's talk about last night's game I went to. I went to the Met game,
Yeah.
and let me shit talk them, and let's see if maybe we have the opposite
Maybe,
effect of
yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
So go to the game last night. Had absolutely no hope for Frankie Montez because it was his first game off of the DL, his Mets debut,
Yep.
and he was getting shelled
Oh my God.
in
Yeah.
the minor leagues. Like he had like a 12 ERA in his three starts that
Yep.
he rehabbed in.
Yeah.
Last night he pitches an absolute freaking gem.
Yep.
Now pitches five scoreless innings, has like five strikeouts, gives up four, maybe three hits, I think.
Yeah.
Did really well.
All you
Next
could
thing you
ask
know,
for.
all you could ask for, as somebody who literally had very low expectations. Next thing you know, Mets bullpen comes in and absolutely ruins the game. They were
Yeah.
fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I really can't believe that some of these guys were even put in. I blame fucking Mendoza. He's
Yeah.
like pitching these same four guys every fucking game.
Yeah.
They've thrown already 40,000 innings each,
Yeah.
and it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they just suck. Nobody can fucking hit the ball except Pete Alonso. Lindor's cold as ice.
Yeah.
And then Juan Soto starts to hit again. So now you hear crickets for all those people being like, "Oh, he sucks," blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. He gets on base three times, but there's nobody in front of him because Lindor and
Yeah.
Nimmo can't get on base.
Yeah.
It's just trash. They suck.
Yeah. No, it's
They suck.
it's a real tough stretch for them because yeah, like you said, like they're all slumping at the same time. And plus, once you get past the four hitter, like if say once you get past the first four hitters, I mean that lineup really drops off heavily. It was
Yeah.
earlier in the season, but now a couple injuries, and I mean, yeah,
Yeah, and
that
like our
it's
young
tough.
guys who are supposed to like be producing now because we've given them like literally all the chances in the fucking world,
Yeah,
like just suck. Like,
yeah,
Mauricio just got brought back up. You thought he was going to bring a little bit of a spark. He's killing it in AAA.
yeah,
He's hitting a buck 80.
yep,
I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks, so maybe he'll turn it around.
yeah.
Brett Beatty, I feel like we've given him every option in the world.
I know,
And
and it stinks too because he's so good defensively, but he cannot hit.
yeah, like, and I don't know what it is. Like, he's got a good swing. I feel like he like kills it in AAA. Like, you see
Mhm.
his numbers, but he just might be a double AAA guy. I don't know. Like, he must be like the
I,
just
he
he
is
can only hit
because
AAA.
he is because well, I know Vientos is coming back soon. I think. I mean, but he stunk before he was on the
Yeah,
IL. But I think if they probably send Mauricio down. But either if they send Beatty or Mauricio down, those guys you're going to see hit like 9 home runs in a month as soon as you
exactly.
send them down because
Either guy that ends up going up.
yeah, anyone that goes down is like going to excel down there. So yeah, it's tough. And obviously, like the pitching staff has been one of the bright spots in their team, which has been shocking. But like you said, starters have gotten injuries. I mean, Senga's hurt. Manaya hasn't come back yet. Holmes is at his way over his limit of how many innings he's pitched in the season. Canning, I
Yeah,
mean, he's a good five starter and stuff, but like they've just been using so much of their bullpen because a lot of these guys are great, but they're projects, you know?
yeah,
So like they can really only give you five or six, which is commendable. But then you're 7, 8, 9, you're using the same guys over and over and over. And it's
over
a
and
long
over again.
season, so you could turn it
Yeah,
around. But yeah, it's tough. I was playing softball last night and the Yankees and the Mets were both up 3-0. I went out for an inning to play the field. I came back, both teams were tied 3-3. And then every time I looked, the Mets were down 7-3 and that was it for them. And yeah,
that that inning that they came back was rough.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough to watch them right now, which is unfortunate. Which is the opposite of last June. They had the whole grimace throughout the first pitch, and they were looking good.
Yeah. Like last June was amazing. They were so bad, like, the first 3 months of the season.
Yeah,
And now it's the complete opposite. It's like June, it's been so rough for them.
yeah, and it's so tough too because um, I'm not saying the regular season doesn't matter because it does, but
Yeah.
it's such a long season that like slumps like this are obviously gonna happen, and you rather it happen now instead of closer to the playoffs. Like things start getting serious after the trade deadline because that's like the playoff push, seeding, division, wild card,
Yeah.
like all that stuff. That's when you really have to be good. But just to turn on the game every night, like baseball is the only sport on right now. Every
Yeah.
other sport's done, so you can only watch baseball. And when you turn on your team and your team cannot knock a runner in when they're in scoring position, or they're always blowing it. Like you just spent 2.5 hours watching a team and they stink, and it's frustrating. So
Oh yeah,
it's annoying. It's annoying, but
it's rough. It's rough. It's
both
rough.
New York teams are doing terrible right now
Yeah.
in
I mean,
June, and they play each other first week of July. So it's going to be who
ah,
sucks less.
I'm so excited, man. And I'm excited to see how this works. I mean, I know you just went to the game too, but they won, right? They had one of their very good games in the past week.
Yeah, me and Taylor luckily went to one of the Yankees' good games in the past week. Yeah, they played the Orioles. Funny enough, we bought tickets in like March to this game in the bleachers, forgetting June presents very hot weather and the sun.
And the
So
sun, yeah. No, I
not
forgot about
good.
the sun, man.
Yeah, sun comes out in the summer. Forgot about that one. And we got there about 30 minutes early. We were going to go get food and drinks before we sat in our seats. And we found like this little, I don't know, shelf behind like the right field wall on the first level there. And we started eating our food, having our drinks, looking. I'm like, these aren't reserved seats. We could just stay here the whole game. It was undercover, saw the whole field. It was a beautiful view right in right field. So we're like, yeah, let's just do that. So we literally stayed there the entire game. We had the bar right behind us. We had food right behind us. The bathrooms right behind us. We would just take shifts getting food and ice cream because, it
That's
was
awesome.
nice. So and we stayed out of the sun. It was still hot because there was no breeze, but I mean, stayed out of the sun, which was nice. And yeah, I joked around before the game with all our Yankee fans. I said I'm trying to bring them bad luck. I brought him quite the opposite. I know Volpe homered. He was 0 for 25 before that, and he homered. Had
Insane.
like
That's
two more
insane.
hits. Ben Rice homered. I think Grisham homered. All these guys who hadn't homered or hit in like the past 2 weeks all did great, and they won 9-0.
You know why? I think I know why.
Why?
It's because you wore that Yankee jersey. You committed a crime.
Yeah, yeah. That was
So you brought them good luck. I think that's why.
I did. That was a pretty contentious move I pulled off that
Yeah,
I thought I could get away with.
we're gonna put the picture right here, right where my finger is. Boom.
Mm.
When Tyler edits later. And guys, yes, he looks like an absolute stud. Not gonna lie. Wearing that Yankee garbage, I am very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I knew it was a pretty tough move to try and pull off before the game. I just was trying to find something to wear. I last time I went, I wore red. I looked out of place, so I'm like, let me find something navy blue. Couldn't find anything to wear, and then finally, I was just like, Taylor found this one jersey, like just regular like batting practice jersey. I like put it on. I was like, yeah, this fit's actually pretty fire. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Let me. I'm like, I'll just wear it. Hopefully, I see no one I know. I didn't see anyone at the game, but our friend Dan texted us to hang out in Stanford, and
Yeah.
he's a Yankee fan. He saw me and he couldn't believe it. And I said, "Yeah, man, I know, I know." I was like, "Listen, please just don't send this anywhere. Don't tell anyone." He's like, "I got you. I got you." Um,
Nope.
we had some drinks, we had some food. He was going to stay true to it, and he completely forgot. And I'm sitting on the other side of the table from him at dinner, and he goes, "Dude, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "What'd you do?" He's like, "Look in the chat." I'm like, "What did you do?" And I see the picture of me, and I see you and Jimmy tearing me a new one, and I went,
Tearing in a new one.
I was like, "You ruined me. It's over. I can't show my face again. I
Nope.
can't call myself a Mets fan." I'm like, "It's over. This is terrible."
And he tries to wear on the podcast, he tries to wear his nice little Mets jersey now to try and
Yeah.
get back. He thinking I wouldn't remember. Sorry, guys, I remember. And this guy committed a criminal offense. Arrest this man.
Oh my God, I know, I know. The word got back to my family too. My parents were like, "Were you wearing Yankee stuff?" I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh boy.
Yeah,
It's the last thing you want is Gary ragging on you for that.
I know, I know. I can't be wearing that. So last time it will happen. Honest mistake.
Honest mistake. No, not an honest mistake at all. Not at all.
No, it was yeah, it was a calculated decision. And listen, the fit was fire. I wish I had a full outfit fit because the outfit was fire. But
Outfit was pretty fire. I'll give you that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I'm sorry. You could you
Won't happen. Won't happen again. Won't happen
You're in the
again.
doghouse, man. You're in the doghouse.
That's
It's gonna
fine.
take you a while.
I'll have to earn my loyalty back. I totally understand
Yeah.
that, and I'll do it. I'll do whatever it
If
takes.
you ever meet like I don't know, Mike Piazza, I'm gonna show him the picture of you
No,
wearing that
please,
jersey.
please don't
Yeah.
ruin me. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
Sorry.
no,
You
no.
ruined yourself. You ruined yourself.
Ah, God, I need that picture wiped from the record. I need it wiped from everywhere because yeah, that's some damning evidence against me.
Oh boy.
You know what's funny? Just quickly going back to the game too is Clark Schmidt pitched, and I went to go get ice cream in like the seventh inning because naturally it's hot out. You got to get ice
Hot
cream
out.
in a
Yep.
helmet.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I get a notification on my phone. Clark Schmidt no hitter through seven. And I went, what? Like he's throwing a no hitter? I didn't even know. And I'm standing there online and like obviously superstitious, like no one wants to jinx it, so no one's really talking about it. But we're looking at the Yankees broadcasts on the TV and you can hear Michael Kay talking. They're literally talking about the last five no hitters in Yankee history and the last five combined no hitters in Yankee history. And I'm going, it's gonna jinx the hell out of it. And
They
then
jinxed the hell out of it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then they were talking about it too because Clark Schmidt, his last pitch he threw in the seventh was his 103rd pitch. Or did he get through six? I forget. No, I think it was through seven. Yeah, I think it was through seven. But his last pitch was his 103rd pitch, which is a career high for him. So it was on the fence if he was going to come back out or not. And I was talking to this guy online who was like super drunk. And obviously I was cosplaying a Yankee fan because I had my stuff on. And he's like, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to bring him back out? I said, they should. Give him at least one more inning. Maybe he gets out of it quick. You know, I said, it's also June. You have pitching depth. Let this guy throw 130, 40 pitches. Who cares? It's a no-hitter. And sure enough, they don't bring him back out, and they bring in a reliever who first time pitching in 3 years. First batter, Gary Sanchez of all people, base hit up the middle.
Damn.
Combined no-nos over, and they booed the hell out of that place when he got the hit. Because I don't know what you would have done, but I would have left him in.
I would have left him in. I don't give a crap. You
Yeah,
blow out the guy's arm.
yeah,
There's only so many people that have thrown no hitters, you know, like, and there's so many times you've had people be like, "Oh, I flirted with a no hitter," you
yeah.
know.
Exactly. I
I
think
would
he
have
just
left him out there.
needed like six more outs. I think he could have gotten it done. At least give him
Yeah,
the eighth.
back in the day, man, back in like the 1920s, they would have let him pitch until he threw 300 pitches.
Exactly. Even not even shorter than that. I remember I was talking about it with people at the game. I said Tim Lincecum threw his first no hitter. He threw 150 pitches.
Yes, I
He
remember
walked.
that.
He walked like
Yeah,
six guys, but they let him
yeah,
keep throwing because, like you said, it's a no hitter. Not so many people have thrown a no hitter, so let him try.
yeah. And then even fewer people have thrown perfect games. I think
Yeah.
that is crazy
If that
too.
was a perfect game, I would have
I
kept
would
him
have
in for sure.
100% left him in. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually, did you see that one pitcher on the Brewers who, in his first start, had a perfect game in the fifth or the
Yeah.
sixth, and he
Yeah.
walked back to the mound and he twisted his ankle and he took him out?
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't see that he twisted his ankle. That's crazy.
yeah, he was debuting. It was his first start. He's like in the fifth or sixth, cruising in the perfect game, and he grabbed the ball from the pitcher, went to like step on the front of the mound, and just twisted his ankle, took him out. And then his next outing, he threw I think five or six more no-hit innings, but his pitches were way too high, so they took him out again. So to start his career, he had 11 straight innings of no-hit baseball
That's crazy.
until today. And today he pitched. He only gave up like 3 hits.
Wow.
So hot start to the career, but
This guy's a stud. What's his name?
it's very hard to announce. He's on the Brewers. I couldn't even give it an attempt if I wanted to.
Got to pick him up in fantasy.
You should if he's not already taken, because yeah, this guy seems like the real deal. He outpitched Skeens today,
That's crazy.
so he is the real deal. I recommend. He's on the Brewers. I'll look him up after.
All
But
right, yeah, not important. We're just shooting the shit, you know.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's our little sports segment, Tyler. How about we move on to Taylor Swift being in Nashville? The fuck was that about?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I thought that was nuts, and I feel like that was also the first time we've really seen Taylor and Travis not at a sporting game
Yeah,
or like together.
yeah,
Because most of the time she's at the red carpet or at any of the music awards, Travis is usually pretty busy, so he never comes.
yeah.
So I feel like this is the first time, Travis Kelsey and George Kittle, and I don't know if there's anyone
Yeah,
else.
because I think they were in Nashville because they do every year they do the tight ends university, and I think
Yes.
like a little camp that they put together.
Yeah, which I think is always great.
Yeah, and I guess they did it in Nashville this year, and then they went clubbing after the
Yeah.
event. But it was really cool to kind of see Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey and George Kittle were hanging out with guys like Luke Combs,
Yeah.
just like shooting the shit. And then I think this was like a big thing I saw on TikTok was Taylor Swift actually came on stage with Chase Rice.
Yeah.
He was performing in a bar in downtown Nashville for like $50. It was like
Wow.
entry to get in to watch Chase. And then next thing you know, Taylor Swift came on, played on his guitar, and people were going crazy because like in 2025, who thought you'd be able to see Taylor Swift for $50? It was insane.
Oh my God, yeah. Because if you told people ahead of time like she was going to be at that bar that night, I mean, you would have had people coming through the ceiling trying to get in there.
Through the
So
ceiling. They would have been dropping in.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, that's the coolest like right place, right time kind of thing. Because like, I mean, you were just in Nashville, so
Yeah.
unfortunately it wasn't then, but
I know I'm pissed. I would have loved that. That would have been so cool.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I saw clips like her performing. I saw like they just kept saying like, "Oh, come out Luke Combs, come out Taylor Swift." Like, could you imagine just any night you're at a bar in Nashville and some of these guys coming out? I
Like
mean,
I
to see
couldn't
these
even
guys in
imagine that.
to see these guys in concert, it's like $500 to $100.
Yeah.
But if here, like you said, $50, a couple drinks and a cover, I mean,
Dude,
I'd
it's
do that in a
it's insane.
heartbeat.
I would do that in a heartbeat. And that's what's so cool, honestly, about Nashville is that literally you never know like who can pull up.
Yeah,
Is honestly one of the reasons why I really love going over there is like, especially if you live in that area and you're just
yeah,
like there casually on a Friday night. That's like us going on a casual night out bar in Long Island or
mhm.
even in Connecticut, and then just like, Drake pulling up to just, shoot the shit. Like that shit is so cool, man. I think it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was really cool. And then the videos from that I saw were awesome.
Mhm.
And it brought up a pretty good topic that you and I wanted to talk about, which
Yes.
is basically what is better in an album? Is it the first half of the album or the second half of the album? Tyler, your point is what?
Well, my point has always been the same on an album is the first like 9 songs of the album are like a baseball lineup. Like the
Okay,
first 2 songs,
I like this analogy.
yeah, the first 2 songs, they really set you up nicely. Usually they're good, maybe even above average. And then like 3, 4, 5 are the heavy hitters. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are the singles that came out before that everybody knows. So those really are carrying you home, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm not saying they're bad, but 6, 7, 8, 9, you might be impressed, but it might not be as great because you just came from the heavy hitters, but they might surprise you as well because
Okay.
they're still really, really good. And then obviously, if the album's longer than 9 songs and you have some good songs here or there, you got a deep bench, sure. But I think as an album goes on, it's not as great. Like, obviously, most people listen to a lineup in order, one to, whenever the last song is. So I feel like you always just start off hot, heavy, you give them your best, and then as you go down, it drops off a little bit. Not saying every album's like this, but I feel like most albums are like this. So I think the first half is usually the best.
You see, I'm I like agree to somewhat what you say,
Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of times, like people who like when they come out with an album, most of the time, I know Taylor doesn't do this. We've talked about this before on the podcast, but normal people listen to an album one if it's 1 through 10, you listen to it in order. I
Yes.
understand people don't do that,
Yeah.
but when artists make albums, I feel like they intentionally make you want to listen to it in order. That's why
I
you sometimes have interludes, and the
yes.
interlude is usually in the middle of the album, so you listen to the interlude,
Yes.
and then I feel like that's why some people even make outros because they want the outro of the album to, stand out.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, sometimes the two of the most bangerish songs are usually like one or like the last song in the album because
Yeah.
they want that last song to leave a good impression and they want
Hmm.
that first song to leave a good impression, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree though on your baseball 1 through 9
Yeah.
because I think sometimes you may get like if say an album has 15 songs, sometimes that number 11 song comes in and it just kind of hits different. Like I don't know what it is. I think they try and throw like sprinkle in the bangers throughout.
Yeah, which is where Taylor was kind of proving my point wrong before.
Yeah.
And that's why I said most albums, because most of my favorite songs from like a Harry Styles or a Taylor Swift on some of their recent work, most of my favorite songs are like she was pointing out was like 11 or even like 19 on like Taylor
Yeah.
Swift's double album. So it's weird and it's funny too because you know we mentioned the newest Morgan Wallen album. I listened
Yeah.
to it once or like one and a half times. I like the second half of that album better. I think I did.
Yeah, you see like that's album has been on repeat for me. So
Hmm.
like um in my opinion, I think I actually liked the first half of that album better. But
Yeah,
there's second half like the second half of the album does have some songs I really like.
yeah,
But I mean that album has 37 songs.
yeah. We
It's really tough. Like I think when you have that many songs, it's really tough to kind of like I guess like relate to that album because there's just so much content in it.
Yeah, we have to start getting away. I mean, I feel like it's more in just country, or maybe
Yeah.
just Morgan Wallen, or Taylor Swift did have a long double album as well. But yeah, once you start approaching 30 plus songs, like you said, you can have it on in the background, but like if I'm listening to the song in the shower, I'm not looking at my phone.
The what song it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what song it is, so I feel like I've been listening to one song for 9 minutes, even though it's been three or four separate songs. Like it sounds stupid because like
No, I
obviously
agree.
that's not the point of music. Like you want to just be able to listen to it. But if it's my first listen, like I'm trying to focus. Like I want to see what song is on, kind of listen to, you know, the words, the beats, everything like that. But if it's 30 something songs, like I might not get to the end of it in the first week. Because obviously, with my analogy, if I start listening to the first nine songs and then I start trying to get through them like 10 to 20, at that point, maybe they're not as good. I'm going back to 1 to 9, and then I'm not going to ever listen to 21 to 30. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough with these long albums.
Yeah, so I want to play a little game here because I'm actually interested to see where you think these go into on the track list
Yeah.
of some of your favorite projects.
Yeah.
So we all know Tyler is a big fan of Migos, right?
Yeah.
So let's go with Culture, the number one.
Okay.
Um, what list or where do you think Slippery is on there's 13 songs in this album.
Yeah.
So where do you think Slippery falls in?
I mean, well, that's a great song from that album.
It
That
is.
yeah, that's their first album. I mean, yeah, it's got to be like in that 3, 4, 5 spot, I guess.
You literally just missed it. It's at 6. So it's at that midway point between the 13 songs. So
Injures.
interesting. So I guess you could say like out of those 13 songs, if you extend the batting order, that's your cleanup hitter. So like in your analogy there, like that makes sense,
Yeah. So
right?
yeah. Sorry. It's I didn't mean to, but I just looked at it. I'm sorry to ruin your game for at least this
Ah, damn.
album. I'm so sorry because one of my favorite songs ever is Kelly Price, and that's at 12.
Really?
Kelly Price with Travis
With
Scott
Travis Scott, yeah.
is 12. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Okay.
crazy.
But I think my like talking about the albums is probably a little bit better. I think they try and save some of the like the bops for the last part of the album because they want you to like have a good impression on that album because a lot of
Hmm.
people just like if you meet somebody, a first impression and a last impression of when you meet people are like the
Yeah.
two things you like remember about somebody. You're not really gonna remember that middle area. It's always
Yeah.
that first impression, which is a huge thing. So like even
Yeah.
on that album, like Culture with DJ Khaled was like it's the name of the album. It makes sense. Just like on the new Morgan Wallen album, the album's called I'm the Problem, and the
Yeah.
first song on that album is I'm the Problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So and then I mean like you got Bad and Bougie hitting cleanup on this album. It's hitting 4.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah. No,
bop.
you and Taylor have definitely flawed my thought process on
Like
this.
let's go to Taylor Swift. We were just talking about her debut album, right? Which we say is her best era is her country
Is
era,
her,
right?
yeah, not saying her other projects and she doesn't have other good songs, but her debut album really gets slept on. That's why I really like these clips coming out of her because she had the guitar. It was
Yeah.
like old fashioned
It was
Taylor.
old fashioned Taylor, man. I agree. Which was what, 2006 was her debut album, right? I mean,
How'd you know that off the top of your head?
because I'm looking it up right now. Come
Oh,
on.
I was
You
gonna
think I
say,
knew
I'm like,
this?
how'd you just randomly guess 2006 and nail it?
October 24th, 2006. Boom. Anyway,
I thought you knew off the top of your head. I was like, you secret Swifty.
listen, I'm a Swiftie, but I'm like, very base level Swiftie. I
That's
had
what
to
I'm
look
saying.
this
Like,
shit
I
up.
feel like we're both pretty base level. That's why I was shocked that you banged out 2006. But all
Actually,
right,
that
you
was
looked
like
it up.
October 24th,
All
2026.
right,
Like
fair enough.
that would be crazy. Anyway, like on that album, I feel like it's mostly country. I honestly like Picture to Burn, like that's a good song. That's
Yeah,
number two. Um, like I honestly don't even like again bass level Taylor Swift guy here. If I heard the song, I can't tell you by the name of the song,
yeah,
honestly. And that's on me. I'm not a true Swiftie, I guess. I'm just a base level Swiftie.
sure.
But um I don't know. Like that's crazy. I mean, I guess like I
I
mean
think
what?
I talked this album a lot up a lot. I think I only know three songs on this whole
Yeah, I
album.
think you're so
I think
you're
I'm getting
so right.
exposed with a lot of takes today. This is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like what Taylor said her favorite album is Folklore. I know a lot more songs that are on this album.
Yeah,
Like, actually me neither. I don't even know any of these. I think Taylor Swift was really the worst person that I personally could have went and talked about this with.
yeah, because
Um,
we like you said, we're pretty base level here
yeah,
trying to guess.
not even. Like I think I'm just like mediocre.
Yeah, well, one that I always say doesn't count for my analogy because I is beer bongs and Bentleys
Yes.
because that's a
Yes.
no skip album.
No
That's
skip album.
every song is perfect. That is one
Yeah.
of the most perfect albums. Like me and Taylor talked about this recently. Like perfect albums, like it's a short list, and that is a
Yeah.
perfect album.
And I think what's so great on that album too is that like again, it's not 30 songs. Like on
Yes,
that album, there's 18 songs, which I think
perfect.
is like an appropriate amount of songs
Yeah,
that should be on an album.
yeah,
Like again, I'm not knocking Morgan Wallen for putting 37 songs on his album. I'm not
yeah,
knocking Taylor Swift for dropping a double album on the same night. But
yeah,
it's great when it first comes out because you want all that content. But now
yeah,
there's just so much shit that I'm like, it's just blending in for me. I mean,
yeah.
another album that I really liked, which was a core for me, was like Scorpion when Drake
Yes,
dropped that album.
great one.
That was one of the better albums I think for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something we're familiar with. So where do you think God's Plan is on that album? It's one of my favorite songs on that album.
I believe that was a single. Even if it wasn't, it's
It was
definitely
a
talking.
single, yeah,
Yeah.
but on the track list, where is it?
I mean, it's got to be three or four, right?
It's five. You're
Okay,
literally
okay,
one
good,
off.
good. Yeah,
Like again,
see?
you're always one
Well,
off.
I maybe it's just maybe the thing I'm missing is like a lot of the singles are in that power hitting role. It
Yeah.
seems like.
I don't know. I don't know. That
Maybe I have
power
to.
hitting role. I'm starting to look at albums like a baseball lineup now too.
Yeah,
So, except I feel like it's not maybe like the nine hitters a little bit different. Like the nine hitter is also kind of like another bop, you know? It's
yeah,
another heavy hitter.
yeah,
Like that end of the lineup might be a little bit better of a, heavy hitter than your singles hitter. Not a
yeah.
not a leadoff guy, but he's
Maybe,
more of like a secondary cleanup guy that hits in that ninth position. Um
maybe, and maybe I just have a short attention span, so I just get sick once I get past like listen to an album for 30 minutes. So maybe that's just
uh,
my poor take, but
all right. Is there something we can agree on at least that you need to listen to the album one through, whatever in order as
oh,
it comes out?
absolutely. Yeah. No, it's yeah, that's I don't know if other people do that, but yeah, she'll pick a song just based off the title of
The
it.
title of it, which is
And
fair.
yeah, but no, I like to listen to it in order and at least the first time through like look at the name of the song as it's
Yeah.
playing so I kind of know, but
On the
yeah,
new Morgan album, what's your favorite song? Just to end this
I'm not
topic.
good with names. I'm not good with names off the top of my head. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I couldn't tell you. What's your favorite?
Mine's 20 cigarettes. And
Okay.
then right after that I really liked Eyes Closed and I like Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill's funny.
Jack and Jill was funny. A
When I
lot
listen
of
to
the
it, I would just think of our friend Jack and your sister Jill for some reason, whenever I think
interesting.
about it.
There's
Yeah,
a
even though it has nothing to do with the song, I just think of those two people.
no. Maybe also the second half of the album has more features.
Yeah,
So
it does, definitely.
I liked a lot of those songs. I don't even know if I got to the end.
What's your opinion on Hardy? Thought I liked some of his songs, but the more I listen to him, I really don't like him as much.
He's not. I honestly think the only time I've listened to him is on features.
On features, yeah.
Yeah, I think on this one, and I think he was on Posties.
Yeah,
So that's the only time I really heard him. I've seen clips of him live. I don't know any of his music, so
yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know. And I know Posty, I think, is rumored to have another country album coming out. That's
I
like
did see
30
that.
something songs,
Yeah, and it's apparently more like old school country with like fiddles and all that crap,
which could be good, but
which
30 songs
30 songs crazy.
falling onto our trap.
Falling falling into my trap. Listen, I'm the first one to say that I don't want that like the 30 song album, but I'm the first one who would be listening to every single song and knowing every actually 60% of the words because I never know any words of full words to
Oh,
any of
I
the
don't know
songs.
words
So,
to songs. Just yeah.
yeah.
If I like a song, it's just because I like the beat and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes songs I like is like, why do you like this? Like you can't relate to the song. It's like, yeah, I'm not trying to.
I
I
don't
can't.
know.
I don't know the words to the song at all. I don't
Like a
know
lot of
songs I've
times I'm
listened
just
to for
like
like 20
singing the
years.
chorus like as loud as I possibly
Yeah,
can and then
yeah,
that's it. Yeah, it's fine. It's
exactly.
the point of the chorus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, that's the end of our album talk.
yeah.
My last thing before we get to the game, Tyler, is to ask you if you are in the know about, hold on, Labubus. Do you know what a Labubu is?
I feel like I'm being played. A what?
A Labubu. I will
I
look up
don't.
a picture for you.
Oh, okay. It's real. I thought you were setting me up for one of those jokes like Imagine Dragons.
No, 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 actually.
Oh, it's a real
So
thing.
these are what Labubus are.
Okay.
So essentially, they're like these creepy looking dolls. Like, look how creepy that thing is.
Eh.
Yeah, they're creepy. They're creepy looking. All
Oh
right.
my God, this one's really creepy. I'm looking
Yeah,
up some right now.
and
Ah,
the only reason why I bring these up is that they're like the new, like they're like our day like versions of like I guess the um I don't know, the dolls that I used to collect back in the day, the Cabbage Patch Kids.
okay.
They're like the I guess the 2025 version of that. And like Jill was talking to me about it the other day about how like people will buy them and then they'll sell for like $200-300 like over asking price once you open them
What?
because like they're all different. Like you open up a pack and it's at random. Like you can't just buy like one that you think you're gonna get. Like
No
you
way.
buy a pack and they're at random and they're like the upsell on them is fucking ridiculous. So
Oh my God, this one's
the
going
reason
for $500.
that's what I'm saying. Like you can buy one and you get it and you can make like a crazy like purchase on it because they're not like expensive to originally buy.
Yeah,
But
and they
then
look like
after that, some of them are rare.
are they small? They look like little keychains.
Yeah, they're like little, some of them are like little keychains, some of them are like a little bit bigger, but most of them are supposed to be
What?
like little keychains. Yeah.
What?
And yeah, so and then there's also Lafufus.
No.
Lafufus
No.
are like the rip-off version of the Labubu.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A foo-foo
And
toy. Here we go.
yeah, dude, and like the reason why I bring this up is I'm at the mall with my mom right before, and we went into a store because I just wanted to look at some Jordans, and they were selling Labubus in the store. And my mom looks at the doll and she goes, "What the fuck is it? That's like so creepy looking." And I go, "Oh, I think that's one of those Labubus that like Jill was telling me about." So then as we're talking about this one like girl is walking out of the store with Labubu, and my mom obviously stops her and asks her because it's in the Matty jeans to just stop people randomly and ask them questions.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, like what? Why are you buying that?" And she's like, I just think they're creepy looking. She's like, "I also agree with you. I don't like them, but my
Yeah.
friend who lives in like Washington, like the state Washington,
Yeah.
um, literally like wants one really bad, but they don't sell them in her state. So I'm buying one for her and I'm mailing it to her for her birthday." I'm like, "That's insane."
Yeah, that's super nice, but like, how is this such a big crazy? Also, look at the difference between, I don't know if you'll see a good picture, like just the difference between the boo boo and the foo
And
foo.
the little fufu, yeah,
It's such a like small difference
small
for a
difference.
knockoff, but like, I do like the concept of you don't know which one you're gonna open. I feel like
Yes,
that would be fun because like say you open one that's going for $500, like that's sick. But like that's such a it's a crazy thing what catches on,
I
you
know.
know,
I know.
and becomes super popular. Like I'm sure in most places, if you tried going to find one of these Labubus, it probably is all sold out. And then if you
Yeah,
tried to buy one online, you're just gonna buy that one, which is boring. I feel like most of the appeal here is opening, not knowing what you're gonna get.
I agree.
Like I remember
100%.
the craze of oh, what are those small little like it's like the replicas of like food items or oh, I can't remember the name of them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Jill
Oh, the little mini things. I know
Mini brands. Thank you,
the
mini
mini
brands.
brands. Yeah,
Yeah,
mini
like
brands.
that was a
Yeah.
huge craze because they came in a ball and then you could get like five different food items. So they had like bacon and Heinz ketchup, but it was like the actual brand, but as like a mini brand. And then the big item was like I think if it came as it was gold or like metallic or something, so like that
Yeah,
cost
yeah,
more
yeah,
money.
yeah.
I remember
Yep.
every time I went to like Walmart, like me and Taylor always got. Jill has a bunch of them too. Like it was actually entertaining for a while, but now that the trend is like 5 years old, if not longer, I mean, Taylor has bags of them. Every time I go back to my house, my room at my parents' house, Jill has a whole setup of them because it's like
Yeah.
they're just like collectibles, but
No,
obviously
100%. And listen, I can't knock on, I guess, people for doing that
no.
because look at my shelf over here. Look at all these
Oh
fucking
yeah,
Funko
no,
Pops that I
exactly.
have. You know? So I really can't be like knocking on anybody for
Yeah,
them. But like the what I was bringing up was like Jill and Amber always shit on me for all these Funko Pops I have. And I'm like, you guys are going out and getting these creepy looking Labubus.
yeah. I
Like
rather
what the fuck?
yeah. The Funko Pops are way cooler than those
They're way
Labubus.
cooler. That's what I'm saying.
Those Labubus I would be afraid of if like I came into my room later at night and it's not there anymore and it's across the room because that thing
Yeah.
might come alive at night. I fear that
That's what
that
I'm
thing would
saying.
actually, you wake up in the middle of the night and it's standing on your chest or
Looks
something.
like a Chucky doll, bro. Like it's gonna
Exactly. That
scare the
thing's
shit out of me.
scary.
Yeah.
And for it to resell for so much, it's like, why would you buy it for that much?
Dude, no
Because
idea.
what could you do with it? And also, that's annoying to put on a keychain.
Yeah, it's so large. Like, how are you gonna fit that in your pocket if you need to?
Exactly. That's super annoying. That's dumb. Why do these things
Dumb.
take off? I mean,
I don't know.
again, I can't really make fun of it because I also love those Funko Pops and
Yeah.
I collected the mini brands and silly bands and all this stuff. But also,
Ah, silly bands. What a pull, bro. What a
yeah,
pull.
silly bands were the hottest of commodities when we were in elementary school.
Dude,
I loved it.
I wish we could bring those back, man.
I know. Nothing, yeah, nothing will beat, especially when you had the rare ones or they had so many different designs. And I mean, it was crazy because I wore a bunch on my wrist, I remember, but I remember there would be kids who came into school. I mean, they had it
All
halfway
the
up
way up
both
their arm.
arms.
Yep.
And I remember everyone would always say, like, oh, don't go to sleep wearing those because, they'll get all twisted and you'll cut off circulation in the middle of the night and stuff like that. And might have been true, but it's like, these are just rubber bands, man. It's
It's
not that
fine.
deep. Come
You
on.
die, you die. It's
I-
fine.
that's like such a crazy relic. Like I every time I'm like digging through stuff, like one will pop up, especially at my parents' house. I don't think I have any here. I don't think.
Let's
I
start leaving them all over your place
you should
in
every
your
once
new
in a while
home.
I'll pull one out and I go, wow, this was uh
A
this was fun.
time.
These silly bands.
Time to be alive.
It
I
was a
remember
great time.
I remember I used to have a bunch of them. I used to leave them in a bowl like in my living room.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we used to have like kids over the house and this one kid like came to our house and he like my mom had just bought us a bunch of brand new silly bands and he like is leaving our house and he like grabs a handful of them and my mom saw him and he put them in his pocket and my mom goes to him, "Did you say he could take some of those silly bands?" And I was like, "No." And my mom literally stopped him because he was like, "You're fucking stealing my kid's silly bands. Like
Yeah,
that's
what?
fucked up. Like who
Yeah,
are?" And my mom's like, "I
what?
don't care who you are." My mom was like, "I don't care that you're 4 year or the same age as my kids. Like you shouldn't be stealing shit I bought for them."
No, yeah, what?
Such a core memory. I was like, I remember I wasn't friends with him after because he tried stealing my silly
Yeah,
bands.
that's crazy.
Messed
Yeah,
up.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely tough because they had the rare silly bands. So like you would always try and pull off trades. Like I'll trade you these three.
Yeah.
Like I remember the Phoenix and the Dragon were like
Yes.
those were
Oh
the
my
shit.
God.
I
Yeah.
know. I ended
Wow.
up with a couple of those. I don't know if I packed them. I might have stole them. Who knows?
Who knows? Stole them from my house.
Yeah, I was the kid. I was the kid so many years ago. That's where I got the dragon and the phoenix from.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but Labubus, Lafufus,
Labubus, Lafufus.
I'm
Like
out.
the name is just so fucking funny,
I'm
man.
out. Yeah, I'll have to ask Taylor later, but I don't. I haven't heard of them, so maybe she hasn't either. Or she's been hiding them in the closet from me. I don't know. We'll find out.
I feel like she would like them. I feel like she's gonna want her and Courtney. I feel like would really want a Labubu.
They probably would. Yeah, honestly, now that I bring it up, we might open a can of worms. They might start
Mm.
using them.
Yeah, you gotta ask her about it.
I'll ask her. Yeah, I'll ask
She's
her
gonna be like,
about
"Oh, I
it.
really wanted to get one." I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, we'll be
"No."
like, oh my God. Yeah, by next episode, you're gonna see like four of them chilling behind me. I'm gonna be like, so this is, I just looked up the name. So this is happiness. This is loyalty. I think that's what they're all called.
That is so
I'm
funny,
gonna fall
dude.
in love with them. Now you set me up.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The next episode in your new spot, you're gonna have them hanging in a line of
Hmm.
all the different ones. You're gonna have like a $600 one.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be like, well, I just thought I had to. I had a gift card. Oh God. Yeah,
Mm.
not too familiar, but I think last but not least, we have our lovely game here, and we have a
Yes,
lovely
we do.
classic, a start bench cut of July movies. And in terms of July movies, we know there's a lot of them coming out in July. But the big three we picked for this was Jurassic World Rebirth,
Yep,
Fantastic
Rebirth.
Four, and Superman. And we're gonna start bench and cut those three movies. And Carl, how about you kick us off? We might have the
Yeah.
same list, but we'll talk about them
Um,
too, and a
I
little bit why
think
we made our decision.
I think I have a little bit I might have a little bit different list than you.
Okay.
Not really sure, but not saying that I don't love this movie or not excited for it. I'm probably going to go try and see it like the first opening weekend, but
Mhm.
I'm probably going to cut Jurassic Rebirth. I think that's probably in our both our cut spots.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to cut Jurassic Rebirth. I'm excited to see Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to watch it, but if this movie came out next year and if I had to wait a year for it, I would not be too upset about it.
Yeah.
Um, I am going to go to my bench, and this might surprise people, but I am benching Fantastic Four.
Wow.
Um, I really am excited to see it. I think it's going to do box office numbers, and I think it might end up being the best movie out of these three movies
Yeah.
that we are going to see. I have a really good faith in Matt Shackman, who directed the movie.
Hmm.
I think WandaVision was really good, so I'm excited to see what he does, with like star power like Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby,
Yep.
Joseph Quinn, and then uh,
I wouldn't even know how to say that guy's
Eric,
name.
yeah, Bear, guy from the
Guy
Bear,
from Bear. Yeah.
cousin from the Bear.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
But yeah, so really excited to see that. But I just think the hype for Superman is just through the roof. James Gunn, I think, is
Hmm.
a master, and it's there's a lot riding on this movie. So I'm starting Superman.
Hmm.
I'm really excited to kind of see the action that comes out of this because Superman is literally the most powerful superhero that there possibly could be. He has every single thing you can do: super speed, flight, speed, laser
Yeah.
vision. Like, so it's just the ability to see some cool shit now with
Hmm.
James Gunn. Just all his like action scenes are usually really cool, like
Yeah.
especially in like the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. But
Yeah.
to have like a character just like that, I'm excited to see. But yeah, that's my start bench cut. I'm excited to see all three of these movies, but I think my most anticipation is for Superman.
Yeah. That's not a bad list. We just flip flop at the top, but I'll still go through my list as well. Like you said, I cut the same thing, Jurassic Rebirth. Not that it doesn't look good, can't beat Scarlett Johansson leading that movie with
Yeah,
some other good actors and actresses. At first, I had zero interest in this movie. Watched the trailer recently. I do like the premise of it that they left some dinosaurs behind and they've kind of
yeah,
mutated and all this stuff. So I do like the premise, but unfortunately, I got to cut it because you have two comic book movies that I'm just more excited for. Personally, on my bench will be Superman. I'm just more of a Marvel guy
I
over
agree. Yeah,
DC, of course. But seeing the trailer, that movie looks great. I am also excited to see where James Gunn goes with it. I mean, I feel like between Superman, Batman, like DC has been popular for longer, at least their universe and comic wise.
Yeah.
Like I feel like growing up, like our dads, it was always like Batman, Superman.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
never really like Captain America and stuff. So Superman looks great. I'm excited to see that. And of course, as of recording today on Wednesday, Fantastic Four dropped their, I have to assume their final trailer,
Yeah, it's their final trailer. Yeah, it
yeah,
looks
before the
fucking sick.
movie. And it just, they throw in one to two more little details each time. And it looks super exciting. And it gets more exciting when you think what's the cutscene's going to be, the setup for
Yep.
the eventual Doctor Doom in now over a year, but still.
Yeah, I'm excited this just like the amount of color that's going to be in the movie. That kind of sounds weird, but um I think Superman and Fantastic Four, these two movies coming out, look the most
Mhm.
comic book-y movies, which
Yeah.
isn't a word. Comic book-y, another
Yeah,
word that
yeah,
I'm like isn't an actual word I'm
yeah,
using. They just look like they have so much color, and just the
yeah.
the aspect that the Fantastic Four set in like the '60s to see
Mhm.
kind of like that retro futuristic like '60s world is pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the big reveal is going to be Galactus in his actual
Yeah.
comic book accurate form. I mean, I watched the new or the old Fantastic Four not too long ago, and for him to be a cloud was quite a letdown. So
Quite a letdown.
they
Quite a
they teased
letdown.
him the perfect amount. You kind of see how big he looks, but you haven't really seen him talk, if you will, or what kind of
Yeah, you're so
destruction he
right. We
he
haven't
can
seen him
really,
speak.
yeah, we haven't seen him
Yeah.
speak or what kind of destruction he can really cause. And I think the whole Silver Surfer Galactus kind of thing is really a pretty cool dynamic part of the movie. So I'm excited for that one out of all three of them. I'm sure at some point I'll see all three of them, but the one I'll definitely be seeing is Fantastic Four.
Let's fucking go. Let's
Yeah,
fucking go.
and I
I'm
can't
fucking
wait.
hype. Let's
I
go.
know. I can't wait for July and come. I know we just talked about this last 2 weeks ago, but which one's
Yeah.
first? Is it Jurassic
It
World?
goes Jurassic World,
Superman,
Superman, Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four. Okay, so we'll have to get those movies and we'll stagger them in the episodes after we see
And
them.
it literally happens so fast. Like today is the 25th.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be I think July 2nd, I think it comes out. It doesn't come out on the Friday because it's July 4th. Like I think they are releasing it on like the Tuesday, if I'm right.
You might be right, because then Superman's, yeah, the 11th,
Of
the following
11th.
Friday.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
the
two
25th.
and then 2 weeks later is the 25th is Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely make sure to listen to our next couple episodes of the podcast because we will be
Yeah.
giving those reviews. At least Carl will be. I don't know if we'll see him.
I'm probably gonna have that Galactic's bucket like right here.
I just put that clip together recently and it was funny listening back because, yeah, it's just like you're going to have both of those and you might even have the Superman ones. And we didn't talk about any Jurassic World ones. I don't know if they have.
They do, they do. And just like my bank account is gonna hurt. Like
Yeah,
I need to make more money, man.
going to have to work overtime just for these popcorn buckets.
Exactly, dude. I wish I got paid overtime. I need to work more parties now. Fuck.
Yeah, damn. But yeah,
Uh,
so
yeah,
can't wait for July.
just kind of a recap of our episode for today. Buying Tyler a Squirtle hat.
Yeah.
Squirtle's the greatest starter Pokemon out of those three.
Yep.
The Mets suck.
Yep.
Tyler committed a hate crime against Mets fans. Um, Taylor Swift in Nashville got to see him for
Yep.
$50. So hang out in Nashville. Maybe celebrities will pull up. You got to listen to an album one through its order. You
Yep.
can't skip.
Yep.
Um, is it actually better having the song in the beginning or the end of the album? We
Yep.
don't know. We haven't
Yep.
really came to a conclusion.
No.
And then yeah, start bench cut. We got a lot of really exciting episodes. Or a
Can't
lot of
can't forget
exciting
about the
shit.
Labubus and the Lafufus
And the
either.
Labubus and the Fufus.
And that was episode 56. We appreciate you guys listening to this chaotic, all over the place episode. Please listen again in 2 weeks to episode 57.
Episode 57. We'll see you then, dude. We'll
Peace
see
out,
you then.
guys.